Uh-huh.
We're going. We're ready.
Uh-huh.
We're rolling.
Uh-huh.
What's on the box?
That's not the right button.
No, it's not.
When you're home, clear in your head. Lock the doors and close the blinds. Turn on your TV. Turn off your mind.
I bet if we had the audience comment on shit, it would be nonstop. Like, why can't I get any fucking buttons right?
How stupid is this guy?
Like, they're all labeled. They're got pictures on them.
I know. I labeled them and I put the pictures on them too.
But you don't press them still.
Yeah, you know.
And they're... But I think your problem is they're not in a perfect line there.
Yeah.
The top is in a perfect line, and you have the next button way down there. So maybe that's
true.
the issue.
Maybe I need to move shit around.
Maybe. All right, well, welcome back, everyone.
Why?
We hope you enjoyed last week's game. I should say we're Soul of a Gamer.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
Scott.
I'm seeing.
Yep. We hope you enjoyed last week's game. That was Prototype.
Yes. And then we did our tier list.
Yeah,
right
technically it was a tier list episode was the last one, but last game was Prototype.
Yes.
And then this week's game is...
Far Cry 5.
Yeah, this game. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I liked it. Like I'm not going to say I didn't like it. I was complaining about some story stuff, but that's the biggest of my complaints is the story stuff.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, otherwise, this game is fucking perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Like, honestly.
Gameplay-wise.
Yeah, just the gameplay is what they put the most focus on, and you can tell, and that was fine, and the story was okay, but I wish they would have done a little bit more.
True.
But we'll get right into this. We already pressed the button, so press it again.
What's on the box?
I'll press it
You
too
fucked it up
many
twice.
times.
You fucked it up twice.
Well, yeah, because I thought I was
You
gonna...
fucked it. You fucked it.
Yes, the box.
The box is cool. It's like
Last Supper kind of thing.
yeah, it's a Last Supper with like. Who are the other two people though?
They're just random other...
Bad guy. Or
Peggies.
three people,
Yeah, they're just random other piggies.
and then someone with Sinner on their back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe throw some of the other characters tied up in there, like the main characters.
Yeah, I guess.
Like,
I know
just
most
some
of the
companions,
boxes...
maybe.
Most of the boxes for the Far Cry games focus on the villains.
Yeah,
And honestly, that's kind of a primary focus on most of these games is the villains.
yeah.
But
I would have rather had them like tie up some of the good guys and just put them at the table too. That would have been more interesting to me than random piggies.
just having
and a fucking wolf.
what
Have
is
the little dog tied up instead.
have Hank or whatever his name was, right, like laying down, like
Yeah.
his beer belly right in the center. That would be kind of funny.
That would have been good.
All right, but take back your town. Fight to free Hope County, Montana, from a fanatic doomsday cult. As you build your resistance, the ever-evolving world will shape your story in ways you'll never see coming. Fight alongside allies with the For Hire system. Choose your team from guns, fangs, or a friend for hire. Take down the cult with iconic weapons and vehicles throughout the open world. From the forest full of wildlife to the soaring skies, see all this land has to offer.
It's an okay box.
Yeah.
Not great, not terrible. Just right in the middle, I think.
I mean, it shows that there's animals,
I do.
vehicles,
I
and
think my
gunplay.
favorite thing about this is that the dog is holding like a fucking AK
Rifle,
in his
yeah.
mouth. It's just that's good. That's funny. I think do more of that.
I love Boomer.
Yeah, and the information is good. I don't want too much information. I think putting the guns for hire on there is the weird take. Maybe do something different.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. And I mean, it shows gunplay, vehicles, and animals.
Well, it's just weird that they just focus on the one thing I didn't do that entire game was the gun for hire.
Yeah, the guns for hire thing,
Like,
honestly, like, it's probably just for people who really, 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 really suck at shooters.
I don't know. Maybe there's like some kind of benefit to doing it. I just
I
never.
mean, there's achievements
cared.
and stuff, I think, in the game,
Yeah.
and like perk points that you can challenges for using guns for hire and
Oh,
stuff.
are there?
But besides that,
I just didn't care. I was like, I don't need
Yeah.
this. Like at a certain point, I just stopped using companions too because I'm like, all right.
the
You guys...
companions can be useful depending on which
The
companions.
dog is the only one I really liked.
The-
That's because he sniffed out people.
Boomer is awesome because
Yeah.
he automatically tags people, and then I also love Peaches because Peaches can do silent kills.
Peaches.
Peaches.
Yeah, I love
Peaches
That's the only
is a
reason I
mountain
like
lion, by the
Peaches.
way.
That's the only reason I like Peaches because of that song.
I mean, I love Peaches just in general because who doesn't want to sick a lion
Yeah,
after some people?
but it's just after a certain amount of time, I was like, man, I just don't use the companions the way I should because they just destroy everything too much. Like,
yeah.
the gameplay is almost too good because you're like, I'm like, I'm fucking dominating. Why the fuck do I need this companion here? Get out
True.
of here. Like half the time I just dismissed them because they don't even stay when you do like an airdrop.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
So you have to reassign them after you airdrop, and I airdropped all the time.
Well, airdropping is just the way to travel in this game,
Yeah.
period.
All right, well, let's move out of the box and go to...
Are we jamming?
Can you name a single song on the track listing from the radio? I can't.
Uh,
I don't know any of them. I didn't really listen to the radio. I didn't spend a lot of time driving.
I will say, did you do any of the Clutch Nixon stuff?
Yeah, all of them. I do like the Clutch Nixon song.
I was gonna say
That
the
was an
Clutch
original.
Nixon song was an original
Yeah.
for this, and you always talk about games
Yes.
needing that. That song is awesome.
Yeah, it was fun, but because it only plays during those missions, I didn't really like memorize it or notice it.
Clutch Nixon.
Like it was fun. It was like an '80s hair metal song or something.
Oh yeah.
Or like a late '70s like glam metal. But I don't know. Like the radio had a bunch of songs on it that I am sure are either famous or
Yeah,
they
I
bought
mean,
rights
there's
to. I
a-
just didn't listen to it. I have no idea what they are.
There's a
So
ton
this-
of random songs on there. There's nothing like big name in this.
Yeah,
There's
I
nothing
mean,
that
that's
I
just a
like.
lot of money to pay fucking for a brand name song, right?
Yeah, I think the only one of the Far Cry's that really did that, Far Cry 6 actually started
Went out
going
of the
more
way.
into popular music.
I'm sure after this one they made a lot of money.
Well,
so-
and that one, it's really cool because your character will actually sing along to the radio
Oh,
in
nice.
Far Cry 6.
that's cool.
So, like, there's that song, Savannah, and your character will be like, Savannah, ooh, na, na, my heart's a knife, it's a la, la, ooh, na. And it's like, it's super awesome. It's
Yeah.
super cute, and it's like super adorable. And you're like, yeah, that's what I want more in video
Right.
games with songs and stuff.
And this game, like, you don't even spend like a minute in your car, pretty much. In the beginning, you do, but once
Yeah.
you get the airdrop, I never get into a car unless it was mission based.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes like some people just really like the vehicles, and there's like certain achievements, like running over 5 people in a tractor in
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I saw those and I didn't really care to do them, so I was like, whatever. We're just gonna
It's
skip
fun.
it. But for the most part, music's whatever. It's just background noises are fine. Gun shooting's fine. The voice acting in this was really good.
I love the voice acting.
Yeah, they did a great job. There's no complaints. It's not like Far Cry 3. I think the big thing about Far Cry 3 is like everyone looked the same.
Yeah,
And then everyone sounded the same.
yeah.
And they all sounded bad.
Besides, like
The
Boston
main,
Citra,
yeah, the main
and
characters,
Brody,
yeah. But like, no, and the girlfriend, I think, whoever that was,
Yeah.
in 3 had a really bad voice actress,
yeah.
and we hated her. But in this one, everyone they got fucking A material. They did
Oh,
not
seriously,
spare any
like-
expenses on the voice acting.
All the people in this
Yeah,
are pretty fantastic.
great job, like great improvement. Like I'm sure 4 got improved too, but yeah, this
Well-
one killed it with his fucking voice acting.
Yeah,
Very
4. I
surprised.
mean, had Troy Baker as the main villain in
Yeah.
4.
Who we got? Who we got in this one? Anyone good?
Mark Pellegrino.
Mark Pellegrino.
He's been in a few different things.
He's been my best friend for 72 years.
Besides that, I'm not seeing anyone like super famous.
I'm sure
or
all these
anything.
people are famous for games, and we just don't know who they are.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like,
I mean, like a lot
'cause
of
they
voice
sounded
actors.
so good. I'm like, there's no way they're not famous for something, right?
Yeah,
Like, normally you either know the really famous voice actors or the really bad ones, because those are the ones that are memorable, and then everyone in between are just as good or just as bad. They're just not memorable.
yep.
But yeah, I mean, we enjoyed the voice acting, enjoyed the music, enjoyed the Clutch Nixon song. That was good.
I really. Love
I
that
do.
song.
I love it when they do original songs in games.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is great. That's such a great thing.
for
but,
sure.
I really wish it would have played during the missions too, when you had to drive.
Yeah, it's kind
I
of.
would have loved that because I just get so bored because you don't automatically turn on the radio when you're in like a mission
No.
driving, and I really wish it would turn on like a fucking cool ass rock song or something.
This is gonna be like a weird take, but I kind of wish a lot of games did music the way that like Madden games do music,
Yeah.
where you can go through the soundtrack, or even like the new 28 Pro Skater 2 remake. You can go through the soundtrack and you can click the songs that you want to listen to and the
Yeah.
ones that you don't want to listen to, and it'll just funnel that while you're playing.
Yeah.
I kind of wish you could do that because I would just have the Clutch Nixon song just
Yeah,
in
put-
the normal.
Clutch!
Could you imagine every time you get into a vehicle that turns on?
Yeah.
Like that would be hilarious as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. This game, like I said, I would call this pretty average on everything, right?
Yeah.
I think it works for what it is. There's no complaints. I have nothing bad to say about any of the sounds. Like,
I would say
everything's
voice
fine.
acting is above average.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. It's not like, I don't really care if voice acting's really good. I only care if it's really bad. So,
I care if it's really, really good. Like, there's certain voice performances. Like, I mean, Mark Hamill in like the Batman Arkham Knight series. Like that voice performance is just like,
that's just fun though. That's like childhood fun. This one though, you don't get the childhood fun stuff. Like you don't get the memorable, but you get like the crazy people who are crazy. They sound crazy. The cool people who are cool. They sound cool. Like they did everything so perfect that like I said, no complaints. But I'm not gonna like praise them all for doing an amazing job. They did their job, which is the important, right? They did exactly what we wanted them to do, which is great. Not all voice actors do that.
Yes.
So, all right, well, let's just move on.
How does it play?
So this game plays phenomenally.
Fucking phenomenal.
Like we gushed about Far Cry 3 when we played that one, but this one's so much better.
Yeah.
Like we complain about the driving in Far Cry 3. This one completely fixed.
Yep.
Completely fixed.
Well, and I love the auto driving.
Yes, yeah, the auto driving I cared for a little bit, but then I was like, well, there's no point because you go faster if you drive it yourself.
You can still hold the gas pedal and it'll drive at that speed.
But and that's just to help you shoot while you're driving. But you only had to do that a few times.
Or like, if you wanted to smoke while playing the game, or get a drink, or like eat.
But after you get the airdrop, how much did you drive?
Very little.
Yeah,
very little.
That was the thing for me. I'm like, yes, this is so cool, and then I'm like, well, no, I'm not gonna ever use it.
I mean, that's why I even told you about the airdropping thing, because that's like the best travel mechanic in this game.
Like that fucking saved this game.
So you unlock first parachuting, and then you unlock the glide suit, and then after you the wingsuit, sorry. Yeah. And then after you unlock the wingsuit, you can unlock the drop points, airdropping on your fast travel points. So any point that you've ever been to that you've unlocked the fast travel point to, you can pick to either travel there or airdrop from there, and you can glide in your wingsuit like
halfway through the map.
1,500 meters, 1,000 to 1,500 meters in any direction, so you can literally get to anywhere you need to go from any drop point.
There's no cooldown on it.
No,
like it's just
amazing.
You can do it while you're in the air.
Yeah,
like it's so stupid. You fuck something up, you're like, shit, I need to go there. All right, I'll just re-airdrop.
And especially on the newer consoles and stuff, playing it with the faster loading speeds and stuff, it's so fast.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Yeah, that was a really cool addition to this game. The airdrop was fucking perfect. I loved it for travel. I mean, there was a lot. The map was big in this game. Not as big as Far Cry 3, I don't think, actually. Or if it was, I barely noticed.
It's just I think it actually, every map has gotten bigger or like
it just
more
didn't
in
seem
depth
bigger. It seemed
because
like
you can actually go into more buildings and stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's true. There are more buildings for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like the map was just quicker to traverse than Far Cry 3 was.
Well, I mean, that airdrop really makes the map
not just
feel
that,
a
it just
lot
felt
smaller.
like everything was easier to get to.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah, that was a cool thing. Gun mechanics in this game are just as good as they were in the last one we played.
I think this is one of the best map mechanics I've ever seen. I love when you like zoom in, you can see all the verticality of the map and actually see the mountains and all the trees.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a cool thing.
I like this one better because in Far Cry 3 you had the camera to spot out enemies, and that was really stupid. This one you have binoculars, which are meant for that thing.
Exactly.
You don't have regular binoculars, you have spotter binoculars. Like that's what they're meant for. Like it makes so much more sense.
Oh yeah.
The movement's really good. Sprinting's a little rough. I get it. Again, it's this game mechanic where they're like, okay, so how realistic do we want to make the game?
Yeah.
Do we want a sprint that lasts forever, which is not very realistic? Do we want a sprint that slows down? I'd rather have a sprint that lasts forever.
I always just say, if you're going to have sprint in a game, just make it so you can do it forever.
I know sometimes we complain about like the realism in games. This is something that I will always die on a hill on. Just make sprint last forever. It doesn't matter. Who gives a shit?
We want realism to a certain extent.
Yeah, we want like heads blowing off when we shoot them with a 50 cal.
I will say that I love even the wildlife interactions and stuff in this game. Like there is a point, I have a video of it, I'll have to show you at some point. But there's one time I was walking around this barn farm area, and I saw a bear walk up to a bull. And the bear and the bull actually started fighting each other. It's
really cool.
And I'm like, that's cool.
You'll see the mountain lions trying to take down a big prey.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
You'll see like wolf packs circling and going after people and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. I love how much they like really made the wildlife so much better.
The wildlife so much better. It's so much easier to hunt too.
Oh,
Even
and
with
the fishing actually is pretty decent.
Yeah,
in this
the
game.
fishing was fun. I caught 2 legendary fish, the 2 story ones.
Oh,
The 2 side quest ones.
the Admiral and
the Admiral was the big one, right?
Mhm.
And then the albino
yeah, I can't remember.
something fish. I don't remember what that one was called, but yeah, those 2 were fun. The fishing was actually good. It didn't feel too bad. I was confused for a second, like how do I tell my line's breaking? Because until the legendary fish, I had no idea when the line was breaking.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, the line's not naturally green. I see.
And when you get the better fishing rods
Yeah,
and stuff,
I didn't
it's so much
really
better.
care. After I got those 2, I was like,
I
I'm not
wanted
gonna
to
try
get
the hard
There's
ones.
an achievement to get all 4 fishing rods, but to get all 4 fishing
You have to
rods,
do all the hard ones.
you have to do all the story missions that deal with the fishing
Which
stuff.
it's only 2.
And then you have to buy the other 2 fishing rods, and then the other.
No, you get one of
you
them.
get one at
from,
the beginning.
Yeah, and I don't know how you get. No, there's only 3, isn't there?
There's 4.
Is there 4?
So there's a 4th one, but the only way to unlock the 4th
I know
one,
the 4th one because that's how you get the hard one. Like, you have to get all the hard fish to unlock the 4th one, right?
you have to get all the records of all the hard fish.
Yeah,
And
because they have that
every
record little
one
thing in fall, whatever.
Yeah, in every town. So the jail has one.
Oh, okay,
Oak
I only
Falls
saw-
has one, and the Wolf's Den.
I only
has
saw
one.
Falls. I didn't see the other ones.
And
but-
getting those records are hard because all the fish weights are completely random,
Yeah.
and you have to use certain baits.
I
and
was
stuff.
curious about that too when I saw it. I'm like, shit, do they just automatically come out hard or come out this weight? Because they
No.
don't. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I fished for probably about 2 hours, and I
Just gave
set
up.
one record.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
And I was like,
That's like
ah.
that's end game stuff, and this game unfortunately doesn't have an end game.
No.
Like, and that's one of the things that really the Far Cry games. I think that's something maybe they do in the future. Put the end game in.
Well, and
Right?
the end game for the Far Cry games mainly are the arcade stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what they did with this one and in the next one as well. And the arcade is also where they brought in all the new features where you can do the roguelike campaigns for all the villains.
Yeah.
But the things that people create in these Far Cry arcades, because it uses the same engine, like I've seen people recreate all of GoldenEye
Oh, that's cool.
in the Far Cry engine. And so you can literally play through GoldenEye's campaign
That's interesting.
with this mechanics.
Yeah, I didn't do the arcade, but I was curious on how it worked.
It's really
Maybe-
cool. Like,
Maybe I go back in and play it at some point.
because there's different types. You can do like over the type, like zombie kind of gameplay
Yeah.
stuff, or you can do like things that people created. Like
Yeah.
it's completely random, but it's really cool.
Yeah, that. What other stuff in the gameplay? I'm trying to think. What else did you do in this?
The perk system in this,
Oh, yeah, the
it
perk
really
system was
forces
better.
you to use a lot of weapon variety if you want to be able to upgrade yourself more.
What do you mean?
So like you get a perk point for every 10 kills with each
Oh,
different
yeah,
weapon
yes.
you get.
I
So
see what you mean.
it really forces you to, if you want more perks, you have to use more weapons.
Yeah.
And really,
But I mean, all you have to do is get a certain amount of kills. Like
Yeah.
the AR was like 50 or something.
Yeah.
The sniper was 10 or 15.
exactly.
Those got you perk points. Killing certain animals got you perk points. Killing bad guys got you perk points. Assassinations got you perk points. Basically, anything you did could have gotten you
Finding
a perk point.
the magazines got you perk
Yep.
points.
Doing roadkill got you perk
Yeah.
points. Eating fish got you perk points. Fishing fish got you perk points. Having sex got you perk points. Like, everything got you. Doing drugs got you perk points.
Yep.
But yeah, the magazines were the best way to go because you can go to prepper stashes.
Which I'm so mad at myself. The first 2 times I've played through this game, I didn't use a lot of the herbology consumable kind of stuff.
Yeah, I never used them.
It's so good.
It's fun. They're fun, but I was like, after I got them, I'm like, I don't really care.
Well, because
that
like
much.
there's an achievement for punching a bull to death.
Yeah.
And I was like, that would take so long. But
No,
then
but
if
then you
you
just
turn
use
on
the
that
mega strength.
melee
Yeah.
mega strength thing, you literally like 1 or 2
Yep.
shot the bull and you can send it like 100 feet back. I'm like, you can superhero shit this game.
Yeah,
This is
the
so
only
much
problem is you die super easy, I feel like. So it's like the bullet play in this game's a little annoying because you take like 5 bullets and you're dead. Even with all the max health increases, you still die fairly quickly. So using that in
Yeah.
like a big bunch of people is not ideal. I don't think it increased your stamina at all. It
I
just
still think
increased
stealth
your-
is the best way to go in
Yeah,
these games.
and that's mainly what I did. Eventually, when you get a silencer on any gun, you're basically just, you don't even have
Oh,
to
yeah.
assassinate anyone. They just kind of they're like, look, a dead body. Don't hit the alarm. Just keep running around in a circle.
I also love just throwing animal bait or like food into the middle of the town or outpost that I was trying to take, and then a bear or something would run in, and they'd be like freaking out about the bear, and then I go take out all the alarms and then kill them all.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I never did that. I just kind of sniped.
Never seen.
This has a lot of things that the other one had. The bases you can take over. You can help people. Your goal in this one basically is just to get points. So you're just doing stuff to get points and missions and doing extra things to get your points.
Resistance points.
Yeah. Trying to think what else cool things that you do. Clutch Nixon. So those are like stunt things you can do. In the original, you just did like racing stuff and time trial stuff. And this is like a mix of all of that.
Yeah, but I like the way that they approach it with this one.
So Clutch Nixon is like evil,
yeah.
Like, and you have to repeat stunts he did in Montana because he's the most famous guy from Montana.
And I really do love the setting of this being in Montana.
Yeah, and that was one of my favorite things about this game, honestly, was the fact that I was in Montana. I thought that was really fucking cool because doing the island kind of feels like, well, I can separate myself from the island. This is somewhere that's really close.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. And it's something that's true to America sometimes with these cults.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't understand about Montana is how does everyone have a fucking helicopter? How does everyone have a plane? How does everyone have a bazooka? How does it got a little ridiculous?
Joseph Seed.
I don't think so. Clearly they had a lot of that stuff beforehand, but I was like, how do you guys have like 50 helicopters?
Not everybody had that.
No, how many planes did you take down throughout the game?
Like 10.
Oh, you only took down 10?
Well, I took down
100.
There's a lot that I took down. You're right.
Yeah,
but
it just felt like there was so many, and you're like, why are there this many?
But
planes?
I mean, like, there's not a lot of like people in the game that actually had one. Like, Jacob had a plane that he stole, and then like Nick Rye had his plane.
No, John did.
Or John, yeah.
John had the plane. Yeah, but I mean, like, they all had, like, fighter planes, too, from World War II. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I don't understand. But I know that's just gameplay mechanics.
Oh, yeah.
One of the worst things about this game with the mechanics, by the way, is just the fact it's just like Prototype, and it kind of pisses you off when the random fucking encounters happen with the enemies.
Yeah.
Like, it was so much. It was like, if you hadn't killed the bad guy, you're nonstop helicopters, nonstop planes, nonstop fucking people on the ground. Like, and as soon as you killed them, it got better. But it's just before you kill them, you're constantly getting attacked. And I guess the point is to bring up your resistance points.
Yeah.
Because it increases the amount of VIP spawned or whatever. But I'm still like, can we just stop? There's so much shit to do already. We don't need this many people just randomly attacking you.
But I mean, you're causing so much chaos that they keep needing to send more people out to find you.
I know, but at a certain point, you're like, I've killed like 10,000 people. How many people are in Montana?
That's the funny thing. That's always the realism thing that never works out.
Yeah, it's like,
the amount
how
of
many people can there possibly be in this county?
It's kind of like we just recently did Uncharted movie for the movie reviews on our other channel, and I was laughing at it because in each one of those games, he kills on average about 1,000 to 1,500 people in each game. But there's maybe like 6 deaths in the entire movie. And I'm like, that's just such a drastic change that it feels so weird that he only killed like 4 people.
The realism of that in this game will never be true. And that's fine. I get why they do that. It's just, I think take out a tiny amount of random encounters.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe take out the fucking flight ones because those are the most annoying
I
ones.
will say they fixed a lot of that in 6.
Okay. Because, this is this. I don't know. I just felt like almost overwhelmed with the amount of times because you'd be on a mission and you need to do this thing where you have to let this person live and a random fucking helicopter will come and kill him.
Yeah.
And it's just, why? Why? I'm on a mission. Separate the mission from the open world, please.
Yeah, I agree.
The most annoying part of the game was just that. That and that alone. Nothing else was annoying.
Fair.
Yeah, that's gameplay.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
It's story time. Let's get started.
Story for this game is super simple.
Yeah.
You're a deputy. Your charge was taking down a cult with a marshal.
Yep.
You go to arrest the leader. You get shot down after arresting him. All your friends get taken. You have to rescue them.
Yep.
Literally a carbon copy of 3.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the same.
Yeah, because you were all just on vacation.
Yeah. Not the same like story, but the same premise. You have to rescue a certain amount of people to get to an escape or to get to your goal.
Yeah.
So it's kind of dumb. I think maybe change that a bit.
They also fixed that in 6. You're not just saving a bunch of random people throughout different areas and stuff. You're trying to gain a following in that one.
Yeah. One thing, sorry, I didn't talk about in the play. How does it play? I'm trying to remember now. I just had it in my head. I'll come back to it. I'll remember it eventually.
Okay.
But you're charged with doing that, and then you you rescue your friends and you beat the game. That's basically the whole story.
Yeah.
And then everything in between that happens is like short stories and stuff. But that's the entire gist of the story. Is you're just doing this to rescue your friends, save the day.
Yep.
How did you feel that you were a deputy in Montana and literally there's no backstory of you anywhere of where you supposedly live?
That was kind of the funny thing is like there really isn't any knowledge on you. I don't even think you get a name at all.
No, you don't. And that was kind of frustrating because I'm like, I'd like to know more about me because apparently I live here.
Yeah, because I mean,
do I have a house? Do I live in the streets? Where the fuck am I?
Every other Far Cry game,
Like the main character
you
matters,
knew
right?
who you were.
Yeah.
Like in 4, you were AJ Galley, and 3, you were Jason Brody.
Yeah.
And this one, you're
2
the
and 1.
deputy.
You did have names. I just don't remember what they were.
Jack Carver in the first one, and I don't know the second one.
Yeah, but like the point being is that everyone has a name, but for some reason in this one you're just some random fucking. And I thought your role was stupid. Like it seems like you're really well trained, and I get the other ones were kind of like Far Cry 3. You were just some guy on vacation, but you had some mystical shit going on with the fucking tattoo and shit, right? Like that was explaining why you were so good with weapons. And shit. And this one, there's no explanation.
True.
So like I think it would have been smarter for them to make him a marshal too.
Yeah.
Because then you would have been trained in a bunch of different combat styles. Because the marshal is usually a person from the military, right? So you've already got an explanation for that. You'd understand if you were like a tank expert or something. Like you understand vehicles, it would make sense why you can fly a helicopter, why you can fly a plane.
Yeah,
like a lot of this stuff would make sense, but instead they make you a weird deputy. Nobody knows your name. They all just call you the deputy. You have no family. You have no records.
Being an unnamed character in this one does feel weird.
Yeah, and I don't understand why they did that. Like, it just kind of takes away from the story a lot. Like, I feel like you could have had a cool story in here.
Yeah.
And then they just missed an opportunity for story.
I think because this is the first one you can play as either male or female.
Oh, maybe, yeah, and I guess that could be
They wanted to make it more generalized. They fixed that in 6 because a lot of people did complain about that. In 6, you play as Danny Rojas, but you can be female Danny or male Danny. Yeah. They picked a name that was gender neutral instead of trying to just say, you're a nameless person.
Yeah. I mean, and I like that better. I kind of like unless you're playing a weird game where like everything you're doing makes your character.
Yeah.
Like to just put a fucking backstory in.
Yeah.
And again, we were talking about this. You don't have to include cutscenes or anything, or just put it in fucking journal entries or something. Put it in memoirs. Put it in like a grimoire of some kind. Like, just have a fucking reading system because that takes a lot less time than doing like the old voice acting shit for it.
But yeah, basic premise of the story is that Joseph Seed, he's the cult leader for
I wasn't honestly going to explain anything about the story besides what I explained.
Oh.
Because it's a lot.
It's not too much. I was going to do like a really short explanation.
All right. Go for it. If it's too long, I'm going to yell at you.
Joseph Seed, he's got his main cult leaders with him, Jacob Seed, John Seed, and Faith Seed. And they're not actually all related. Some of them are related.
John and Jacob are brothers.
Yes. But the other ones, he just kind of adopted into his family.
Yeah, Faith was the only one who was adopted.
Yeah. And so they're this cult that they've been taking over and getting all these guns and supplies and taking over all of Montana.
This is a confusing thing to me, too. Like, they were clearly going a little bit crazy, but when you kidnapped them, that's when they went really crazy. Mm-hmm. But, like, on your way there, the sheriff is like, we've been leaving them alone because we don't want any trouble. And I'm like, but they've been kidnapping people before this? Or is this like after you kidnapped them?
No, they've been kidnapping people before
So I'm so confused. Why did you leave them alone, you stupid fucker?
Because they have more gun power than the local sheriffs
do. The military? At what point do you think that the military noticed that they had 3 nukes? At what point? Like, because I'm very curious. Because I saw did you see the secret ending?
I can't remember.
So there's a secret ending in the first 10 minutes of the game where if you don't do anything, you just win the game.
Yeah.
Because the army comes in. And that seems like the best ending. I'm like, you don't even have to play any of the game. That's the best one.
Every single Far Cry game has a way to immediately win the game.
Yeah, in the first 10, 20 minutes.
In the first 10 to 15 minutes without doing anything.
Yeah.
And that's literally what you have to do in every single scenario.
Yeah.
Is not do anything, and it gives you the happiest, best ending every time.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing ever.
It is, and it's so sad because in this one there's no good ending except for that one.
Yeah.
But that was such a cool thing. If you just stand there, the army comes in, arrests everyone, and kills everyone.
Yeah.
But continue
But
on your thing.
basically you go in to arrest him. Yeah, you put the handcuffs on him. You get taken out. They take out the helicopter before you can fully arrest him. And then you're going around to there's 4 different regions in the game. And each region is taken over by one of his primary members, Jacob, John, and Faith. And you have to get enough faith points in each.
The 4th region is his own little area.
Yeah. You have to get enough resistance points in each area to encounter them. And every time you get to a certain phase in their resistance points, you have to do capture moments.
Yeah, this is what I complained about in 3 too. Like, it's annoying because they don't make any sense half the time.
Yeah.
Like, at least with Faith, it kind of made sense.
Faith is best.
Because she was kind of... But even hers was the most fucking outlandish. I have no idea what I was doing half the time.
Honestly, the John one is the worst.
John one made the most sense. John just came up and straight fucking kidnapped you, and then you escape. And you get to see that entire process of getting kidnapped and escaping. Every other one, it kind of felt like you got kidnapped, you did a bunch of stuff that made no sense because you're fucking high on something.
Yeah, because they're brainwashing you.
Yeah, and then you leave somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But John, at least you got to see the entire process of getting captured and leaving.
But I like the brainwashing stuff more because that explains why you don't know everything.
I guess it kind of
like,
explains it.
It's really annoying because, like, no matter in any of these moments, if you're playing these games after listening to this, let them capture you. There's literally no point to fight back in any way, shape, or form.
I will say this was something stupid in the game when they capture you. Half the time it didn't work for me. I had to leave the game and reload back in for them to actually like initiate the capture.
Oh.
Yeah, that happened a lot. I don't know.
I never had that.
I don't know if it's a glitch or something with the game.
It might have been.
But like every single time I would get that up to that point, I would do like 5 more missions after that and be like, okay, can I just get captured already?
I know, like sometimes in Faith's area, she didn't do it exactly on those markers.
John and Faith were both the worst. Jacob kind of got it good. There was one time where I was like, Jacob, you can send someone to poison dart me. Come on, guy, let's go.
Yeah, there's one time in Jacob's area where it said the hunters were after me, and I was able to like. I actually saw a couple of the hunters before they shot me, and I killed them. And then I was able to do like 1 or 2 more side missions before I actually got captured.
Nice. Yeah, mostly it was fine. Just those little instances, and I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? Because I almost like it got so bad on John's that I almost got to the 3rd one before the 2nd one happened. Isn't that? That's crazy.
Well, I tried staying in the air one time to try to see if it could go skip a whole one and go from 2 to 3.
Yeah.
And I actually almost got there, but as soon as you do land, you immediately get captured.
Oh.
So you can stay in the air as long as you want, and you'll never get captured. But as soon as you hit land, no matter where you land, you'll get captured.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
But
so everyone knows their own regions. You have to defeat all 3 of them.
Yep.
They all have a person you want to save.
And after you've done the 3 capture events with each region, you finally get to face off against that main villain,
Joseph Seed.
And then,
the main villain in the area.
In each area,
yes.
Yeah. And then once you complete all 3 areas, you can go to the church and face off against Joseph Seed.
I think this was the downfall of this game, is that the brothers and Faith were way more interesting than the main bad guy. I think a big downfall for them. They really undersold Joseph Seed and really oversold everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wish there was
on
more.
Everyone. Yeah, because Joseph Seed, it's like as soon as you start his shit, it's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I kind of wish almost he had a big area just like everybody else did.
I kind of wish everyone else was like 10 minutes and he was a like giant thing to
chunk
do.
Of it.
Yeah.
But I do love that
he's
like
the main bad guy, but it really doesn't feel like it.
I love that he does interject in each one of the other villains' conversations and talks. Like in each one of the capture moments, you see him in at least one of them. And then
I only remember seeing him in John's. I don't remember Jacob or I think maybe in Jacob's too, but not Faith's.
Faith, there's in one of your first visions, she's talking about him and talking about his book reading and stuff.
Yeah. She talks about him, but I don't remember.
Well,
seeing him.
you see him in the background.
There's a giant statue of him.
Well, yeah, you could destroy that statue.
Yeah, that was a cool thing.
I love destroying that statue. But And then after every time you killed someone, you got a little like cutscene video of him talking about the death of a family.
That last one was great.
Yeah.
That last one was actually really
well,
cool.
and the voice acting of those scenes alone, like
that was
that is crazy.
That really
when
got
he's
you like hyped up.
Yeah, when he's sitting there and he's like, another seal is
Literally.
broken.
The last one, he's got snot running down his nose. He's crying. Like, it's
The
insane.
graphics on
Like,
that and like
so
seeing the snot run
good.
down and then him sucking it back up, and I'm like, oh my god.
Like, it is so insanely good. And then you get to him, you're like, this is not very good.
Yeah.
This is really boring, actually.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily like the confrontation with Joseph Seed.
Like, the
as
other
much.
boss fights were so good, and then
Mhm.
this one was just kind of shitty.
I didn't like that he kept on like changing your people against you, and if he took them down and raised them up, they were evil again, and then
Like,
you had to take them down. And
I almost felt like this should have been a one-on-one fight. This
I
should
do.
not have been a fucking your teammates are there attacking you and then helping you and then attacking you and then helping you. Like, the bliss is cool for explaining why people are like brainwashed.
Yeah.
It does not go that deep.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a long time to brainwash someone.
Well, I think it's the bliss mixed with
Yeah, which I get, but at the same time, like, they're so high that they listen to whatever he says, but why don't they just listen to whatever anyone says? I don't understand.
Well, I think it's not just the bliss. It's,
Raise your gun, put it down. Raise your gun, put it down.
It's Jacob's stuff too.
No, but none of them were done with Jacob, because by that point you kill Jacob. Remember, none of them were captured until that point.
Well, most of them were previously captured.
No.
So.
None of your companions.
Well, none of your companions, but the marshal and the sheriff.
Those three. But remember, the people you were mainly fighting were all of your companions, and then those three. And and I'm like, why are all your companions like this?
Well,
fucking...
yeah, I agree with the companions part of it.
Yeah,
but
the
there
marshal
were
and
other
stuff.
ones.
Yeah, Marshall was dead by that point.
Yeah.
That was the stupidest thing in the world. That's what I didn't like about Fate's Reason. It's like, how could you see all of that happen but not be there?
Yeah.
That made no sense. I'm like, okay, so is the mystical coming into this? Also, how is she flying? But, we're not going to ask questions about the flight.
There's
Why
always
are there 15 of her?
There's always a drug sequence. In
Yeah,
all
which
of
is
these.
cool. Like, they're not bad. It's cool to watch it, but I'd love to see what actually happened.
I know
Like,
that is something that I wish they would do, like a little like cutscene kind of thing, like for extra stuff afterwards. Like watch what you're actually seeing in those moments.
It's like what we hoped for in Far Cry 3 when Todd like killed the entire room of people.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't get to see any of it, and you're
Mhm.
like, can we see that?
I wanna
I'd
know.
love to know what just happened.
Right?
I feel like having like a little like after fight cutscene of just watching you, like, because it could have been as simple as you going up and just shooting him with a pistol in the head.
Yeah.
But that entire scene happened because you were so
Which
drugged up.
I do say
That would have been so much cooler.
in Far Cry New Dawn, which is the tie-in game to this game, which is a separate, cheaper game. It's a $40 game instead of a full budget game. You actually do get that moment with Joseph Seed that you wanted to have in this game, where you get to go up to him and you do get to decide whether you shoot him or not.
Yeah, because at the end of this big fight with him, it's really fucking stupid. After
Yeah.
you've... This makes no sense.
No.
Steven, no sense. You just
know.
killed everyone.
Everyone.
You didn't arrest anyone.
Yep.
Like, you could go to jail.
Yeah.
For the amount of hundreds of people you've killed. You are the worst spree killer in American history.
Yep.
But somehow you go up to Joseph Seed and you're like, we're just going to arrest you, actually. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Just kill him. Like, this is stupid.
It's so dumb.
But I think the whole point was so they can make money and release another game. I think that was the point.
I think there was always a plan of doing New Dawn right after this, and
I'm sure that's why. That's got to be why. Otherwise, it makes no fucking sense.
Because New Dawn is supposed to happen in a post-apocalyptic world.
Not world, just
not
Montana.
World. Post-apocalyptic Montana.
Just a post-apocalyptic Hope County.
Yeah.
Because not the entire state got blown up.
No.
And this is the dumbest part, is like, if you choose, you have one of two endings to choose here. You can either resist or leave.
Yeah.
Either way, the nukes blow up.
Mm-hmm.
If you leave, it's like up in the air if they do, but the screen turns black, so you assume they do, like near you. And it's all just the nukes blow up, and he's like, look, I was right. I predicted it. I'm like, dude, you totally planned this.
Yeah.
Are you fucking
You
kidding me?
didn't predict it. It wasn't God's will.
How come they each blew up right where your fucking other people's bunkers were, asshole?
Right.
Like, fuck you.
Like, this wasn't God's will. This wasn't some divine intervention. This was you.
And at the same time, this is where I'm like, where do people find out that you bought nukes? Because that's a pretty. I feel like people really pay attention to that.
I mean,
Where'd you get them? How much did you pay for them? I'd love to know these questions, these answers. Like, it was pretty fucked. I'm like,
got him from Al Qaeda, spelled with a K.
Yep. No, there's a big theory that they got him from one of the bad guys from the previous games.
Like Hoyt or something.
No, one of the bad countries from the previous game.
Okay.
I don't know which one though.
Probably.
It was like a Middle Eastern country.
Yeah, the India one.
Yeah, so that's the theory, because I had to look it up because I'm like, is there any way to avoid these fucking nukes? Did I do something wrong?
No.
Like, nope, you just have to get nuked.
Yep.
And again, the goal of the nukes, I think, was because they were planning another game.
Yeah.
So it seemed like such a cheap ending to me.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I really didn't like that.
New Dawn, if you like the gameplay,
you'll like New Dawn.
You'll probably like it, but
I
the
don't-
villains in that one are the most lackluster villains of all of the Far Cry franchise.
Okay, see, and that's the problem with doing like follow-up games on previous games, where normally each Far Cry doesn't follow each other except for 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
Because 1, I think 2, you
2
fight
is
the
the
main bad guy or the
Yeah.
main good guy from 1 or something.
2, the main bad guy in 2 is the main character of the first one,
person you play.
Jack Harper.
Yeah. So, like, and that makes sense for those two, but then after that, they just seem to go to their own little areas.
Yep.
Like, and I kind of wish they would have continued on that path instead of doing New Dawn.
Yeah, it was.
It's just because
The best part of that was getting to kill Joseph.
Yeah, like, and you could have gotten that in Far Cry 5, and Far Cry 5 would have been so much better.
Yeah.
Like, you basically handicapped one game to sell more copies of another one.
Yeah.
I just thought that was so fucking stupid.
Which I do love that section in Far Cry New Dawn when
it's
you
probably
go
so
up
much
against
fun.
him and
And
like
honestly, it's probably cool to play in like a post-apocalyptic Montana.
mhm.
Like, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it wasn't a good decision for them to release that game. I am saying that they should have done more with the end of this game.
I agree 100%. Like you're 100% right.
And after this game, you do so much cool shit in the story, and then you just feel like
Well, it was
all
all
of it
for
doesn't matter.
nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
like no matter how much good you did, no matter how many people you stopped,
Or
you couldn't
how much bad you
stop
did, like,
the nukes.
it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, it's just so fucking
Like
stupid.
if there was a certain way to end the game where you stopped it, that would have been interesting.
Yeah. So, and if you do arrest Joseph Seed, everything starts blowing up. Like each nuke goes off after minutes after the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to drive a car to the place where Dutch is, and Dutch is a guy who saved you originally, because there's always like a guy who saves you, who sends you off on the mission to save whatever you're trying to do.
Yep.
So Dutch is that guy. You have to drive a car with the sheriff, your other deputy friend, two deputy friends,
two
the
deputies.
girl and the guy, and you have to. You basically leave all of your companions to die. So there's that. Everyone's dead. This is just. It makes no sense. Like, deputy, get in the car. No, don't bring them. They're assholes. Like, why are we bringing Seed? Fuck this guy. Leave him here.
Right.
Why do we force Seed? He's gonna die in the radiation. Put him here. What are we doing? I was so confused.
Yeah.
Bring one of the companions.
And of course, it ends up happening that your truck gets overturned and
Yep.
Joseph
Gets
pulls
out.
you out and takes you into the bunker and only you. and
Somehow he
ties you
gets
up.
out of his handcuffs, puts you in handcuffs, overpowers Dutch and kills him. Like, all of this makes no sense. He doesn't have a weapon.
Yeah.
He doesn't, like, everything's blowing up around you, but he's got enough wherewithal to drag you into the bunker, to get out of his handcuffs, to kill Dutch. Like, I'm like, okay, this is fucking horseshit.
Yeah.
All of this is horseshit. Just next time, kill him.
Yep.
Kill him. I just want to go back through the game and keep shooting him in the head until he, like it's just the most annoying thing in the world.
Yeah.
I got so fucking annoyed.
I gotta say, I think my favorite like story mission in this is when you are being controlled by Jacob and you run into the Wolf's Den base and you shoot that leader of the Wolf's Den in the head.
What's crazy is, like, you can tell you're going to do that from the beginning, right?
Mhm.
Because you're just doing like a training exercise nonstop where you always end up in the wolf den.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's insane. Every single time you end up in the fucking wolf den. And you just know, you're like, shit, I'm going to fucking kill someone in the wolf den, aren't I? Like,
And that story mission, especially the characters in that after you kill them, like
the girl makes no sense.
She doesn't make a lot of sense. I like the son.
Yeah.
The son was really awesome.
Like, The girl just makes no sense because the first mission when they rescue you,
She absolutely hates
she's
you.
like, we can't trust him. We know what this stuff does. I'm like, you know what this stuff does? Okay. We got to kill him now, basically. That's the whole gist of that.
Mhm.
And then by the third time, she's like, you know what this stuff does to him? We got to protect him. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
That is completely opposite of what you just said like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, she really changed her guns there.
Yeah,
but-
like it didn't make a lot of sense. Maybe even just stick it the same. Maybe have the sun stop her.
Yeah.
Like have her be that person.
True. Honestly, that would have worked a lot better.
That would have made more sense. She was kind of annoying, but I loved that she was like had someone in a kiddie pool electrocuting them to torture them.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my god, there's no good guys.
There really is no good guys in this
Damn,
game.
Montana's hardcore.
Funniest companion in this game by far is Hank.
Which one was Hank? Was he the trailer park guy?
He was the...
No, he was the.
His dad was trying to become a senator, and he
Yes.
was the guy who loves rocket launchers
Yes.
and monster trucks and titties.
I'm trying to. There was another one. I think there was another one who was like crazy, right? The crazy guy, or was that just a side mission?
Are you talking about the alien?
No, not
Dude.
Larry. The I think he was a companion. You kept finding notes for him everywhere. It's like Squeak or Squirrel or.
Oh, I didn't do all the companion stuff this
I
time
think he
playthrough.
was a companion,
Okay.
but I didn't know because I never used him.
Okay.
Like after I did his mission, because it's like normally companions have like a 2-mission set.
Yeah.
Only one of them had one mission. It was the
Grace.
Yeah, the sniper girl.
Yeah.
On the church.
Yep.
For some reason, one mission I don't quite understand. Again,
Yeah.
seems lazy writing. I don't know. Do most of them too with one person having one. But I think he was a companion too, and he was fucking out of his mind. He's like, we gotta go save the cows.
Oh.
We gotta save the cows now. The cows need us.
I do. Like, I remember that.
They
actually.
talk to me. Like it's so fucking weird.
One of the things I love about Hank, I think that's what his name is, but he's when you're driving on one of the missions with him, he's talking about how he almost joined the Peggies, and he's like,
Yeah.
they promised me like guns, and they said there'd be a bunch of females there, and there'd be this and that, and
But they're no fucking.
but then no fornicating, which I found out means no fucking.
that was so good. It was. I will say, going through this game, it's hard. So I think all the Far Cry games to start out are overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like it's a slow start.
Yes.
You feel like you don't know anything about the area. You
Yes.
feel like lost. And then by the second area, I'm like, I'm a master of everything. I know everything.
Yep.
Like Jacob, I felt like I struggled so much getting through. And then Faith, I was like, instant. I'm good. I know what to do now.
Yeah.
I finally understand
Well,
this
most
game.
people start John. The normal order is John, Faith, Jacob.
Yeah, because I think they encourage you to start John.
Yeah.
But I thought that was Jacob at first.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I wasn't listening well enough.
Okay.
So I went to Jacob's area. I'm like, wasn't I supposed to say the girl, not a guy?
Yeah.
Who are you?
But there is just some moments with some of these characters that are they're just so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like that one chick who is like really horny for that yoga instructor, the helicopter pilot.
Yeah.
That chick is hilarious.
She's fun.
She's like, I'll help you any time of the day except for after 6 p.m. because that's when Xavier does his yoga, and you haven't experienced the world until you've seen that ass in Downward Dog.
There are some funny moments in this game. I don't know. Like, I will say one of the dumbest moments in this game. So basically, the marshal is the guy who's going to arrest Joseph.
Yes.
And you save him, but he's like a throwaway character, and that was pretty easy to tell.
Yeah.
Like, so when you save him, it's really early because everyone else you save like on the last mission,
Mm-hmm.
and you save him, and he's like, "Thanks for saving me. I'm able to escape." But he's like high on bliss.
Yeah.
And bliss is something they use to control minds. And then for the last thing, he just shoots someone who's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, which is really fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's actually super duper annoying.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Yeah, I don't quite understand. And you get to see it happening even though you're not there,
Mm-hmm.
which is also really weird. Also, it's really strange that they were able to overpower the prison.
Oh, like the jail, yeah.
Yeah, even with him opening the doors, I'm like, can they not shoot their guns? And like, I'm so confused. Like, are you saying that the only way you can win this is because you're on defense and you have a closed door?
Right.
Like, I just don't understand any. I came in here and I killed 25 guys. How did 25 of you not kill one?
Yeah.
I just like half the time I'm like, okay, this is a lot of bad. Like, it just seems like piss poor writing sometimes. But I get it. It's like it serves a
just
purpose.
Yeah.
It just feels like there maybe should have been more of a struggle, more of a fight. Maybe you fought less guys because they put up such a good fight.
Yeah.
Maybe just say that out loud or something so you know.
The thing that sucks is like there's not in the way that the Far Cry does their stuff. There's not really a good way to do like boss fights.
Yeah.
And it
No, I
almost
thought the
seems
boss
like-
fights are actually cool in this.
They were cool, but like some of them like just seem like weird.
They are weird. The Faith
Yeah.
one was definitely the weirdest.
Yes.
The Jacob one was the most normal.
Yes.
Because you're just basically sniping him from afar.
Which I laughed at because I had such a high power sniper rifle at that point that I could actually kill him, like shoot him in the head on
yeah,
the ridge.
and then he goes down for a second, but you have to get up there to do anything. It's
I'm
really
like, that's so
fucking annoying.
stupid. I was like,
Yeah.
why can't I just kill him from here?
I kept doing that too. I'm like, when do I kill him? Like, I'm so confused. And I'm like, oh, because he's got to run up to him, and then there's all these people on the ground, and he gets to just keep sniping at you. Kind of an annoying boss fight, to be honest.
yeah.
But I think the most satisfying at the end when you finally fucking kill him.
For sure.
He was the one I was the most
I
excited.
wanted to kill him the
Yes.
most. Yeah.
'Cause he was the biggest fucking asshole in
Yes.
that entire fucking time.
Oh yeah, he's a horrible piece of shit.
Yeah. John's, I don't think he killed anyone that was important to you. I think he was the only one who
He
didn't kill
tortured
anyone.
that chick, and
Yeah,
she
no. I mean, like, so
Yeah.
Jacob had you kill the Wolf Den leader.
Yeah.
Faith had
Oh, I see what you
Marshall kill
That guy,
the
the-
cougar leader.
Yep.
So then John just doesn't get that opportunity, I'm guessing. He
True.
doesn't kill anyone. So he's actually my favorite one to go through just because I'm not emotionally wrecked when I go again.
True.
And his is a cool dogfight.
Yeah.
The best part of that is crashing him and then seeing him parachute in the air, just shooting at his
I
body.
love that,
Like,
yeah.
You're like, okay, do I kill him now? And I think he's always dead when he hits the ground.
No.
Oh, okay, he was dead when he hit the ground.
I actually had to go kill him because
Oh.
yeah.
I shot him in the air and he died.
Okay, yeah.
But he kept falling as if he was alive.
Oh,
But once
okay.
he hit the ground, he was dead. And he's like, go find Jacob. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll go find his dead body. Let's do it. I hated that, though. I
Yeah.
think that was the one thing I hated is that they get a little monologue at the end.
Yeah, it's very Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, and I'm
it's
like-
it's what Ubisoft does every time. I don't know why they
Yeah.
think they need to do that. Like after you kill the villain, they have to have a 3-minute speech
Yeah.
before they actually die. It's like so stupid. It's like
Yeah.
you killed him, but
I
the
didn't-
mission's over. But now you got to walk up to him and hear his speech, and
Yeah.
then now you can leave.
Yeah, like I would have felt better if all of them just died.
Yeah.
Like nothing they said really mattered. They didn't reveal anything. They didn't add anything to the story to me. Like I would have actually really preferred it if they just died because it's like, yes, that's
Well,
the
and
absolution
I love
of what you're doing.
the messages that Joseph sent out after
Yeah.
they died,
And that was the
those
only one-
mattered a lot.
Yeah, but then everything else didn't. So why
Yeah.
the fuck even give him a
I
last
agree
word?
100%.
Fuck Faith.
Yeah.
Fuck John. Fuck Jacob. And because they tortured you the most. Joseph did literally 0 to you
Yeah.
compared to them. That's what they
100%.
are, the main bad guys. There's no one else
Mhm.
better than them. They're just fucking insane.
Yeah.
And Joseph is like the catalyst for that insanity, but they are by themselves, like fucking.
They're monsters.
Oh my god, completely
Yeah.
right? They are out of their fucking minds.
Oh yeah, in all different ways
Yeah,
too.
they're just killing random people, kidnapping people, forcing them to be in
I
the
mean,
army.
the curring thing that Jacob did.
Oh god, it's insane.
Fuck.
Yeah, I will again. Jacob's area seemed to be the hardest to me.
It is the hardest for sure.
Yeah, but I'm glad I did it first because that actually got me like in the right mood to do the
Okay.
other ones. I think. And his boss fight again by far the hardest.
Yeah.
Fates is the coolest.
Yes.
She's basically turned into like a butterfly.
She's like druidic powers. It's
Yeah.
like so weird.
She's like throwing balls of light at you and summoning people to attack you.
I'm like, what the fuck is
This is
happening?
one thing I didn't like too. Did you like the fact that you went to the bunkers after you killed them
No,
Yeah,
I wish you went to the bunkers
before?
to kill them.
Yeah, I felt like that would have been a better.
Yeah.
Because it just felt kind of lazy.
Yeah, it felt weird, but I mean, like in some aspects, it kind of makes sense because that's where they're keeping
Yeah.
your person captive,
But
and
you
after
almost
you
think
kill them,
you-
you have their key now, and they're
Yeah.
the only ones who have the keys
Well,
to
and I
that
think
area.
the boss fights would have been much more normal if they didn't do the boss fight first. Because you would have
Yeah.
just went to the bunker and probably shot him a few times and killed him. And then I think that would have improved the game because then they wouldn't have had that last word thing, right?
Yeah.
Like I think the reason they had the last word is the idea you were always drugged up.
Uh-huh.
Somehow you were always drugged, no matter what you did. You were always drugged up,
Yeah.
always a high on bliss.
Oh, I guess that was one of the one songs that was like a song that I did know, the one that Jacob used to torture you.
Oh yeah, that
I forgot what song that was.
I can't remember. That's a famous song. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple others whistled it too.
Yeah.
John whistled it for sure.
Which was like super like, fuck you.
I think John was the most like insane. Because, I mean, Jacob was killing people, but John was literally skinning people.
Yeah.
So, John would write, like...
whatever your sin was on you.
and then...
carve it into you.
And then skin it off as if you were being born anew. Like, taking your sin away. And I'm like, that's not how this works. God, okay. Maybe not do... Okay, let's not skin him. He did skin your friend. I think he skinned...
Yes, he skinned the pasture. And Nick Rye.
Yeah, Nick Rye, the airplane guy.
Yeah.
Nick Rye, the airplane guy. Yeah, but he skins those two. This is the dumbest part to me, too, the pastor picking up the Bible. I'm like, okay, are you fucking kidding me right now? You're not going to notice that at all?
Right.
This is just so outside the realm of who gives a shit. Like, just fucking give this one up. This is where I'm like, invade the bunker and let me fight him there. I really don't like the fact that I have to go to Falls End, whatever it is.
Yeah.
To
Hope Falls.
Yeah. Hope Falls?
No,
it's Falls End.
Yeah, it's Falls End. It's in Hope Falls.
Yes. To see that the entire town is empty. That's another thing. So that happened too. I was in the town and that didn't start.
What?
The mission. I was in the
Sorry.
town after it's supposed to be completely emptied and everyone's supposed to be in the church. And it didn't start. I go to the church, it's completely empty, town's completely empty, nothing's happening. I'm like, it said come to Hope End. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. Hope or Falls End. I didn't understand at all. So I left, did it like 3 missions, came back, and then it initiated the final one. I'm like,
okay.
I don't understand. Okay.
It must have just
glitched out. That was so weird. It did that so many times to me. Yeah, John's was by far, I think he was the craziest. Jacob was the most cruel.
Yeah.
And then Faith was like the most, I want to know more.
Hypnotic, yeah.
I just want to know more.
Yeah. The song, by the way, was Only You.
Only You, yes.
Only
You. Like, I actually kind of like that with the Jacob thing.
That was
creepy
so
as fuck every time
fuck.
it happened. Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of all the
I
story.
want to say one more thing. Okay, so this is what I told you earlier. I think that they needed to put more background information on each character.
Yeah.
I wanted to know more.
Well, and that's the thing with like anything cult related, especially because like I know how me and you both listen to a lot of like cult related podcasts and stuff like that. There's just a need and a want to know more about these things.
In general, the bad guy just felt so like I said, Joseph Seed was so boring.
Those little didn't think he was boring.
The little intermittent parts in between where he was on the TV are the most interesting he did. But everything else is just so boring with him. Like there's no
just very
information.
Stereotypical cult leader.
Yeah, but if you get some more information on what happened to him, like you might actually really like him a lot more. Like I would probably fall in love with the guy. Like because there's got to be a reason he's so charismatic, right?
Yeah. Well,
like.
I think that's honestly, like I was telling you before, in Far Cry 6, they added the villains expansion where you can do the roguelike gameplay, and they have one for Joseph Seed, Pagan Mint, and Voss.
Yeah.
And you
but he's not the only one.
them.
I would have loved to see more about Faith, and would have loved to see more about Jacob and John, but you don't ever get that. Like,
I'm guessing in his campaign, you do get to see all of their stuff.
Which
because
I hope
that was
so.
the same thing with Voss. Like, I wanted to know more about Voss's backstory and, like, how him
maybe
and
even
Citra,
Hoyt's backstory a little bit, because you're like, why? You kind of understand. You
kind
kind of understand Hoyt in that game at least, because he's like a business guy looking for money. But still, I'm like, why? Why here?
But like, especially because they kept on bringing up in Far Cry 3 the thing with Voss and Citra being brother and sister, but they never had any interactions together in the game. It felt really weird. But then when you go and play Voss's storyline and figure out like all the things that happened with his sister when he was a child, you're like, that's why you guys don't talk anymore.
Yeah. I mean, Citra was crazy. She killed you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the whole story. Again, just the only thing I wish in this one was more background on each character.
Fair.
In the game. I don't want it in a fucking expansion because you know how I feel about paying more money for stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid. But let's move on.
Worth or not?
I think I'll throw a definite Worth on this one.
I'm definitely going Worth still. Yeah.
I think this one was really fun. I got lost in it for a good long while. It was a great game.
Oh, it's easily a game you can put.
I don't know how they could possibly make it better, but I'm hoping 6 is way better.
It is. And it's kind of funny because like a lot of people, like especially when 6 first came out, it was kind of like
wishy-washy
on it. But the more people got into the story and like the villain in that one is Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
Which phenomenal villain, and all the videos and stuff they did for him were amazing. I love the way they did the main character a lot more. The other characters, there's just so much more backstory to everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things you're complaining about in this one, they perfectly fix in 6.
Yeah, I bet there's more backstory.
There's so much more backstory.
I think each game, it seems like they get a little bit better at doing one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, from Far Cry 3 to here, it's just a completely different game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, this is so much better than Far Cry 3.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think this game, definitely play it. I mean, I'm always opposed to paying full price for games. I just feel like it's
I mean, you can get this one for like $10 right now.
I bet you could. But if you see it for 60, I maybe skip on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay full price for this game anymore.
Yeah.
I still would pay full price for 6.
Yeah.
100% still
Okay,
would.
fair enough. And
I know I just did see it on sale last week for $15, $20.
6 was?
Yeah.
Hey, you did text me.
I forgot.
You go fuck yourself.
I'm sorry.
Get out of here. But yeah, that was this game. What's next week's game?
Next week is The Artful Escape. Right?
I thought we were watching porn.
Oh, shit.
I watched so much porn already.
Oh, well, that porn tier list will have to wait.
Oh, God. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week with The Artful Escape.
And maybe some porn after that.
Maybe some porn tier listing. Bye.
Bye. Love you.